action.
Hello! Today I want to inform you all on a great happening in science. I took a class my freshman year of college that started first semester about dinosaurs. There was a lot of researched subjects, but my favorite one was the Bone Wars. Today I will provide you with information on what happened, which scientists were involved, and how the Bone Wars affected us then and now. First, let's have a little background on the Bone Wars. According to the World English Dictionary, by definition, war is an active hostility or contention, conflict, or contest. The Bone Wars began in 1877, also nicknamed the Great Dinosaur Rush, by Bone Wars by T. Rea in 2001. This was just a huge race to see who could find the most fossils. It went as far as actually using weapons and people destroying campsites and bone beds. The war began in Como Bluff in Wyoming. It also traveled to Colorado and some rich bone beds in Nebraska. It lasted until 1892, almost 15 years. The war led to over 142 new species, and a lot of other dinosaurs were discovered that had already been found. Now that you know a little bit about what happened, let's discuss the history of the two main scientists that were involved. According to Great Feuds in Science, 10 of the Liveliest Disputes by Hal Hellman in 1998, many of the scientists that were involved found a lot of dinosaur bones, but the two main finders were Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh. Othniel hails from Lockport, New York. Born in 1831, his mom died at age 2 when he was 2 years old. His father remarried, but he didn't really like his stepmother, so this led to a difficult personal life. His funds for his research mostly came from his uncle George Peabody. He owns a lot of museums, and he also got him a job as a professor of paleontology at Yale. He was a very greedy man, and his zealous manner caused him to have a few mistakes in finding dinosaurs. One of those is the Brontosaurus. This is not a real dinosaur, as much as we may be sad to know. It is actually the body of an Apatosaurus and the head of another dinosaur that he thought matched well enough, just so he could make his numbers higher. Also, some more information from Hal Hellman. Edward Cope was born in 1840 on an 8-acre farm by Philadelphia to a family of Quakers. His mother died when he was 3 years old, giving birth to her third child. His dad remarried, but he, unlike Marsh, loved his stepmom, so he had a good life. He began his career of finding fossils at age 18. In the beginning, Cope and Marsh were actually friends, so you ask yourselves, what happened? According to Great Feuds in Science, 10 of the Liveliest Disputes, Cope claims that he asked Marsh for some research money after a night out on the town, and this caused the feud. Marsh claims that he actually stole works from Cope. Cope was showing him a drawing of a recent dinosaur he found. Marsh discovered a little problem, fixed it, and then copyrighted it as his own work. Now that I've explained a little bit about the men who were involved, let's discuss how it affects us. Both scientists contributed to the finds in ways to preserve the fossils. According to The Fossil Field by E.N. Shore, 1974, many new changes were found in discovering fossils. Some of the dinosaurs that were found were the Stegosaurus, which is a large armed dinosaur. Another was the Allosaurus, which is a large theropod, and theropods are dinosaurs that are bipedal and have shorter arms in the front. Most of you think of the T-Rex. The other dinosaur that was found, which is common in the US, is the Diplodocus. A good thing that happened, according to H. Hellman, author of Great Feuds in Science, most paleontologists learned from the mistakes of Marsh and Cope on not using so many funds on destroying each other's campsites but they also learned on where to find good dinosaurs. The effect of the Bone Wars on North America was massive. People still discover, take old methods, and make better methods out of them. Some of the tools that are used today are sound waves that get emitted to find how deep bones are, radars, and sensitive chemical tests. They also use UV rays so they can find bones at nighttime. All of these things help when trying to chip rock off of bones. If you simply tried to just chip the rock off to get the bones out, the bones have been compacted for so long that they would just burst into powder. As a result of all of this, science has expanded, and Cope and Marsh have been well commended for all of their hard work. I have provided you with as much info that I have had time for about this era where good and bad qualities help science grow. It may have been a rough and grueling time for Cope and Marsh, but the find has had good happenings for North America now. Paleontologists are always changing and updating the facts, but they've had a good basis for scientists today. All in all, I'd say that both scientists won the Great Bone War. I hope you all learned a little something about the world's greatest mystery of dinosaurs.